Unit planning. This is an introduction. Hopefully an introduction so you can develop your vision. Vision. A vision without a task is a dream. A task without a vision is drudgery. But a task with vision can change the world. And that's what you do as a teacher. You change the world one student at a time. So what we're trying to do right now is build a vision for unit planning. So you might ask, what is a unit? Well, a unit is a long-term set of lessons. It might be 3 weeks to 6 weeks long. Why make it? Well, it forces you to make difficult decisions about what to teach and how long to teach it. It keeps you on pace to reach your unit and ultimately your long-term goals. And it provides an opportunity to stimulate student interest through overarching content so that it is relevant to your students because you think so thoroughly about it. So, in order to create this unit, we want to ask ourselves some really important questions. What would it really look like for my students to master their learning goals? What would be the real or the authentic task at the end? What would really motivate them to embrace learning or the goal and not just feel like they have to do it for you? What would help my students remember what they are learning? These are things that you can begin to ask yourself. So there are 3 types of units that we're going to go over: goal-based, thematic, and project-based. Let's go over goal-based. Goal-based could be kind of miscommunicated because everything you do as an educator is goal-based. But a goal-based unit really focuses on the standards in the same area or content area or skill area. What is the benefit? It easily aligns to the standards or whatever you're kind of doing for pacing, what school you're in, what district you're in, or what's on that pacing guide. So how do you do it? Look into your standards aligned system. If you're in science, you look into the next generation science standards, which is so awesome because it has those cross-cutting ideas, so you can easily create a unit, actually even an interdisciplinary one. And also look into the standards in your content area. Many associations have standards, like the NEA has standards, even beyond the school standards. So that can help you devise what's really important. The next kind of unit is a project-based unit. This project-based unit focuses on producing an end product, such as a book, a play, a trip, or a presentation. What is the benefit? It serves as a rallying point for students and motivates them to be more authentic. So oftentimes the students are motivated by the end goal of what they're going to create. So how would you do it? What you would do is identify an authentic task for your content, such as a play, let's say in English, or in science, a science museum, about whatever content you're learning. A political involvement. So if you're studying the civil rights era in social studies or studying the 60s and 70s, then, or even what builds up to it, then the students could then compare that to modern day happenings and write a letter to a congressman or congressperson about that. They could build a miniature golf course, and that would tie into things like geometry and physics, a little bit of trig as well. And so it depends on what you do, but you have to take a little more work to think, what would that project be? The last thing is a thematic-based unit. This integrates standards from multiple subject areas. So once again, you have prolonged engagement, just like you can have with the other ones, but you diversify the engagement within the content. And so you're seeing things, and it kind of plays on that multiple intelligences, or it could, and that looking at things from many different angles. So for example, if you were studying the Renaissance, you could bring together history and English literature. You could also bring in Newton and Galileo, Descartes, and Bacon, Francis Bacon, because all of their work kind of came about during that Renaissance period. So how would you do that? You would pick a main concept and start diversifying the different fields about that concept in there. So what you want to do is you really want to think about your passion, okay? And think about how that could play into what you're doing. So eventually when you plan your unit, you will be aligning your unit to standards, and you will have different assessments. You're going to think about the whole unit, you're thinking about a course, your course that you're in, and then you're going to think about the daily plans. But right now, I just want you to think about your content end the unit and think about, okay, what kind of unit do I want to make? Do I want to think thematic, project-based, goal-based? And from that, you can identify your passion and your vision that you would like your students to have.